How many guys play in the whole league? Like how many people are on each team?
Our active rosters are 25 players, and then we travel 19.
Is it
So six guys are on the practice squad, pretty much.
and 7 teams now with cannons?
Yes, correct.
Who picked these names? The Whip Snakes? Like,
Bro,
I don't know the lacrosse vernacular, but they sound like little kids pick these out of hats.
well, it sure beats the MLL teams. I wasn't a fan of the whole branding of that league, man.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know. I think they hired a designer.
Marketing people paid them millions of dollars to come up with these names. You're like, oh,
That's not
Jesus.
my. That's above my pay grade. But I'm a fan of archers. I love.
Yeah, you landed on a pretty good spot.
What are some of the other names?
We got the Whip Snakes. We got the Chaos. Chaos's logo is like a scorpion. It's kind of cool, but their jerseys look like BMX shirts.
They look very afflicted.
Yeah,
Kind of like
We
those
got-
jeans you have with the bedazzles on them.
I'm wearing them under these table, guys.
this would you know what would be cool right now if we had the technology to like put up the logo as I was saying it.
Oh, we got a guy in the corner that's going to take care of that.
Yeah, we have a producer, and
What are you doing, guy?
We have the technology to do this. So all you got to do is ask, and there's a good chance in the final take that this thing will come out.
Yeah. Then
Flowing them out.
there's the Chrome. There's the Atlas. There's the Cannons, which they pulled that team from the MLL. The Water Dogs were a new team, and then the Archers.
Redwoods.
Redwoods. Yep.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the. I actually Holman tried to pick up one of your shirts, but you're all sold out, man. So
Hey,
hot stuff.
love that.
Did like how did the team selections go? I mean, obviously they have these kind of floating teams that aren't necessarily geographically tied to anywhere. How does it like? Is there a draft, or did they go out and just sign free agents, or how did the the segmenting of the players, like who went where? How did that work?
I think they factored two things in. One was your college affiliation, and then second was the previous league, if there was connections with guys on the same team. Like, for example, our team, the Archers, we have Will and Adam who are coaching out here with me in Utah. You know, we came out here 5 years ago to coach at the U, and we've been very active in the community. And, you know, Utah is home for me right now, right? So when I think of that, if you put all of us on the same team, you kind of have a little mini fan base there with all the kids and players that we work with in the state of Utah. And then I think our college affiliation was UNC. I think we had our first year, we had maybe 5 or 6 guys from Carolina. And then we took like 3 or 4 guys that were on my Ohio Machine team from the previous league. So it's definitely a blend, but you know, for example, the Whip Snakes, like I said, are all Maryland guys. The Atlas, their first year, Johns Hopkins was supposed to be their base. The Redwoods are Notre Dame based. So there's definitely like small pockets of, you could just, if you're a Notre Dame fan, you cheer for the Redwoods. It's just like what you're going to do because you've been watching those guys play in college and now they're playing on the same team. And then some of the like the Water Dogs are kind of a random compilation. The Chaos is very Canadian based. They probably have like 75% of their roster is from Canada. And the Canadian style of playing lacrosse, I'll try to break it down in a sentence or two here, is they play box lacrosse, which is in a hockey rink. Everybody has a short stick and it's 5-on-5. So their style of playing is much more stick oriented. So if you watch a Canadian player play, his hands, like he has great hands because like they play hockey and they're just playing a lot, versus like an American born player traditionally is a little bit more athletic, you know, runs better, maybe is physically more imposing. It's kind of like the combination of the styles there.
And
in case you guys were wondering.
No, that's super interesting.
Marcus, have you heard of futsal? So indoor
Yes.
soccer, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
futsal.
similar to lacrosse, shorter windows. You got to have great stick skills, and then a goalie and giant hockey pads. So you got to be very accurate to score and a smaller goal.
Smaller goal. And man, it is tough. You can't play box and not be tough.
A D-Mitty's dream, yeah.
Yeah, I was able to play on Team USA in 2015 in the World Indoor Championships. I was trying to figure the game out on the fly. I was just running around like a madman and trying to score. It's fucking hard to score. That was always my downfall playing indoor lacrosse. It's just so hard to score.
Did you wear shoulder pads indoors?
Yep. And I ran into a guy full speed and did my AC joint of my shoulder.
What's the wave of no shoulder pads? Because as coaching kids, they see that at the pro level, and you got to fight to actually have them wear the shoulder pads.
I'm gonna be honest, like I don't know why that like became a thing. Again, I think it's just like the casual nature of maybe the previous professional league, and it's just like a little bit heavier, we're playing in the summertime. It's 85 degrees down in Atlanta. Like that added, weight, those 2 or 3 pounds, like can take a toll on you. So I don't know. I've tried so many different things. I've tried wearing, I think I'm going to try this again this summer, wearing like an undershirt that basketball players wear that has like the pads right here on the ribs. Cause a lot of where I get hit is if a guy's cross-checking you, right, it's either like when you turn your shoulder, it's either like here where I'm protected. You wear an elbow pad that covers kind of your arm, or it's like on your hips, which you can't really wear, unless you're wearing a football, padded leg suit, you're not going to have protection there. So just thinking about like protecting my ribs a little bit more, but knock on wood, I've had a.
So the pros don't wear shoulder pads.
Less is more.
Correct.
I get that.
Yeah. The goalies, they're even wearing less.
I mean, have you guys ever noticed anybody in the NFL wearing pads in their pants?
No, like no knee pads for DBs.
Dude, a lot of guys, like nobody wore thigh pads. Nobody wore hip pads. Most people.
Yeah.
I used to wear thigh pads because unfortunately I got speared in the thigh and I was super nervous about it. But for the most part, like nobody ever wore any pads in their pants. And then we would take our shoulder pads and we'd fucking cut them up and make a bunch of alterations and try to remove as much shit off them as you can.
Is that to feel light or?
Yeah, it was that like whole like ounces equals pounds kind of a deal. But I don't know, maybe it was psychological. But I guarantee in the NFL, if you told dudes they didn't have to wear shoulder pads, there'd be somebody out there trying to not wear fucking shoulder pads.
I'm going back. I'm a loaded freight train and I'm right on track. I'm smoking.